Happy New Year, everyone! Welcome to Chef Salad 3, the third installment of a not-so-consistent tradition of compiling random video clips that for one reason or another are not substantial enough for their own video, or perhaps were acquired after a previous publication. This film features 14 fleeting moments of time and place that you are unlikely to see in any other Dozenspeed productions, starting with this Taco Bell site in Ballwin, Missouri, shot in December 2022. This location suffered a devastating overnight fire, and here is the scene after it was scraped away and before they rebuilt it as not shown here, because that isn't as surreal to look at as remaining fast food archaeological evidence like this tiled restaurant floor without the restaurant. This is the longest clip in the film, which gives me enough time to explain why the series is called Chef Salad. The Dozenspeed channel started in late 2017, and near the end of 2018 I realized I had a number of random video clips left unpublished and not slated for any agenda. So I thought a good way to process the publishing of them would be pile them together in their own video and call it Chef Salad. I like a good chef salad, but the rumor is the staple menu item is designed to squeeze every penny from scraps of other salads left on the cutting board that would normally be thrown away. So that's the spirit intended here. The idea was to make this an annual event, starting with Chef Salad 2018, 10 minutes of orphaned video clips set to a lovely piece of music. It took me a lot of effort, especially as green as I was, using a lower featured editing suite, but no one really watched it enough to motivate me to make a follow-up. 2020 was quite a year, as we all know, and with its restrictions that impacted my filming, the Chef Salad idea seemed like a good conduit for all the trivial little shots I did manage to accumulate, and it resulted in the 49-minute Chef Salad 2020, which did a bit better as the channel was a bit bigger, but again, there wasn't enough reaction to motivate upholding this tradition, so I didn't, even though I still liked the idea. Fast forward to the end of 2025, and here we are again making another go at establishing this tradition of some kind with Chef Salad 3. In 2018, I only had miscellaneous clips from 2018, and for Chef Salad 2020, I made a rule that it would only feature clips from 2020, which when added all up created the 50-minute monster made just after I started adding my own narration with a substandard microphone, creating a rather rough watch I would caution you from sampling like expired milk. The series going forward will be dropping the designation of year in favor of using a simple volume number identifier in case a year gets skipped. Moving on to May 2021, here is a quick shot of the site of the legendary, sorely missed institution known as the Goody Diner, which unfortunately could not survive more than 1/5 of the 21st century. But here's a picture of the new Ronald McDonald house being built in May 2023 at the intersection of Shoto and Tower Grove for what it's worth. I promise there will be some clips in here less than 2 years old, but first let's go all the way back to July 2019 to look at this mid-demolition moment of the old loading dock behind the main post office in downtown St. Louis. While we're in the pre-pandemic era, let's stop to peek at a dilapidated house or two that probably no longer exists in a part of North St. Louis City I can't quite recall. But then again, with how things work around here, they very may well still be out there. Completely changing the venue now, and exactly half a decade later, A brief look inside the tired old Marshall store on Lindbergh in South County, which has been replaced by a shiny new one across the parking lot. Can you see what I mean though about the random scraps? I mean, what else am I supposed to do with this stuff other than perhaps package it as some sort of video mystery grab bag? More intriguing, though, are these bits of what looks like ancient lunch counter signage on this University City building that housed the former Cicero's restaurant during some renovation work in February 2021, making me wonder what the story is there. The following month, I noticed a similar situation here at 7238 Manchester Road in Maplewood, where I spotted this vintage advertising from a business long past. If you really want random, here is a pile of old bicycles all locked up in this parking garage. This isn't any old abandoned building, this is a live active garage of an apartment building in an affluent part of town. So why is this dusty pile of vintage bicycles here? Is it supposed to be art, or did someone simply lose the key? I have so many questions. So let's pad this film with some more new construction in Westport, where we can see this very early foundation work for a massive new apartment building crammed into the corner of this large underutilized parking lot by the McDonald's in May 2023. Here's another mid-construction look of an apartment building on Olive Boulevard in Olivet called the Oliver from June 2021. Another opportunistic snapshot in the archive without a place to park, stored here in the Dozenspeed channel junk drawer. Oh look, it's another derelict building, also from May 2023, this time near Hillsboro, Missouri, just sitting there, door wide open, inviting me to peek inside and record a point on the graph of yet another unfamiliar but sad-looking trace of human activity for me to ponder about. Speaking of derelict buildings, a big story in 2025 was the Millennium Hotel in downtown St. Louis, which was finally legally wrestled from the hands of foreign investors of obfuscated motivations. I dreamed of acquiring legitimate access to document this 1968 icon of the St. Louis skyline before demolition began, but being realistic about my current clout and credentials, I did little to pursue it other than film these clips from the street. I'm aware at least one person gained less than legitimate access, getting their chance to film this thing I crave to document, but in my arrogant opinion, squandered their opportunity. To me, this just doesn't feel fair. But here we are anyway on 4th Street in good old September 2023, followed by a passing shot during early demolition in November 2025. But to end on a sweet note, here is a charming shot of something I recently talked about: some city workers hanging municipal Christmas decorations in Webster Groves from good old 2019, the last year of a time that feels more innocent in hindsight than I felt it was then. Well, that's going to wrap it up for Chef Salad 3. It's nothing major, but it is something which is better than nothing. And it progresses the Dozenspeed Film Foundation movement, even if only letting me check off some boxes of my own making. Perhaps we'll do this again for Chef Salad 4. Thank you for watching.